The richest person I ever met was wearing a faded t-shirt, driving a 10-year-old Honda, and eating a $6 sandwich at a gas station. I walked right past him, didn't notice, didn't care. Meanwhile, my neighbor Kevin, brand new BMW, designer sneakers, always posting vacations. Kevin had $11,000 in credit card debt. That Honda guy, $12 million in assets. Everything I thought I knew about wealth was completely wrong, because the richest person in the room never looks rich. And today I am going to show you exactly why. The illusion of wealth. Let me ask you something. When you picture a millionaire, what do you see? A big house, a luxury car, expensive clothes. That's what I used to think too. Then I met my old colleague Marcus. Marcus drove a Porsche, wore a Rolex, took his family to Cancun every single year. Everyone at the office called him the successful one. Marcus was living on a $94,000 salary and spending $97,000 every year. He wasn't building wealth, he was performing it. And here's the scary part. Nobody knew. Not his wife, not his friends, not even his financial advisor, because Marcus had mastered one thing: looking rich. But there's another guy I want to tell you about, my neighbor Dave, retired electrician, drives a 2009 Ford F-150, shops at Costco, wears the same 3 flannels rotating every week. Dave retired at 54 with $2.1 million saved, no inheritance, no lottery, no crypto moonshot, just 30 years of invisible discipline. I used to feel sorry for Dave. I thought he was struggling. I thought he couldn't afford better. I was the one who couldn't afford to think that way. See, there are 2 types of people in America right now: people who look wealthy and people who actually are wealthy. And I am telling you, most of the time, they are not the same person. The question is, which one are you becoming? The psychology behind stealth wealth. So why do rich people stop trying to look rich? I talked to a financial planner named Rachel, 15 years of experience, works with high net worth clients. And she told me something I never forgot. She said, "James, my wealthiest clients are completely invisible. My broker friends who lease Teslas and wear Rolexes, most of them are one bad month away from panic." Think about that. The people managing other people's millions, quietly driving Camrys. Old money understands something new money never gets. Every dollar you spend performing wealth is a dollar that stops compounding. Let me give you a real number. If Marcus, remember Marcus, had invested just $3,000 of that extra spending every single year starting at age 30 at a 7% average return, by age 60, he would have had $283,000 extra just from stopping the performance. $3,000 a year. That's it. But Marcus needed people to see success because deep down, Marcus was scared nobody would believe it otherwise. And that fear, that need for external validation, that is exactly what keeps middle-class people middle class. Meanwhile, Dave, the electrician in the flannel, never needed anyone to believe anything. Dave knew his number. He watched it grow every single month, quietly, invisibly. There's a term for this, stealth wealth, and the people who practice it share 3 specific behaviors that almost nobody talks about. I'm going to show you all 3 right now. The 3 behaviors of quietly wealthy people. First behavior: they buy assets, not appearances. My friend Linda is a high school teacher, makes $58,000 a year. Every single year since age 27, Linda has put $400 a month into index funds. Never told anyone, never posted about it. Linda is 49 now. Her portfolio just crossed $510,000. Her coworker Stephanie makes the same salary. But Stephanie leases a new car every 3 years, takes 2 international trips a year on credit, has $1,200 in savings. Same income, completely different destination. Second behavior: they are obsessed with the gap, not the clothing store. The gap between what they earn and what they spend. Every quietly wealthy person I have ever studied treats that gap like oxygen. They protect it. They grow it. They never shrink it to impress someone at a dinner party. Kevin, my BMW neighbor, his gap was negative. Every month he was going backwards and smiling about it on Instagram. Third behavior, and this one is the most important. They are completely unbothered by your opinion. Dave the electrician never once explained his truck to anyone, never justified Costco, never apologized for the flannel. Because Dave was not building a reputation, Dave was building a number. And here is what I want you to understand. The validation you are chasing from people who barely think about you, it is costing you hundreds of thousands of dollars over your lifetime. That is not dramatic. That is just math. The wake-up call. I want to be honest with you. I used to be Marcus, not the Porsche. I could not afford that. But the mindset? Absolutely. I bought things I did not need to feel like I was moving forward. Upgraded my phone every year. Wore brands I could not really justify because somewhere inside I needed people to see that I was doing okay. And the whole time Dave next door was quietly winning. The turning point for me was one specific moment. I ran into Dave at the hardware store. We started talking, and I casually asked him, "Dave, you ever think about upgrading that truck?" He looked at me, smiled, said, "Why would I? It runs fine. That money is working for me somewhere better." That sentence changed everything. That money is working for me somewhere better. Marcus's money was working for the dealership, for the credit card company, for the resort in Cancun. Dave's money was working for Dave. Right now, I want you to do one thing. Look at your last 30 days of spending. Find one purchase, just one, that was about looking successful rather than being successful. One purchase. That is your starting point. Because the richest person in the room is not the loudest, not the flashiest, not the most followed. The richest person in the room is the one who stopped needing you to know. And that person could be you.
Hey, if this video gave you something to think about, that's exactly why I make these every single day. Most of this stuff nobody ever teaches you, and I just think that needs to change. So if you got value today, hit subscribe.